Hey there family, welcome to the Brain and Body Show, a channel dedicated to merging the worlds of mental health, fitness and wellness. Today I'm going to be talking about why is it so difficult for people to say I'm sorry. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Peter Gordon and I'm a doctoral student working towards a doctorate in clinical psychology. I'm also a licensed mental health therapist and a life and health coach. And I make videos on mental health, nutrition, fitness, philosophy, and everything I hope can help you to lead your most profound life. And while you're here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you can be notified each time I post a brand new video. Also feel free to share this video, hit that like button and leave a comment. Now let's get into the heart of today's topic. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why is it so hard for people to say I am sorry. And when I say I'm sorry, I'm not talking about I'm sorry, or I'm sorry, now move on, let's get over it. No, today I'm referring to the ability to say I am sorry, I see where you're coming from, and I truly apologize. But before I go any further, please be mindful that the opinions and conclusions shared in this video are mine. They are based on my lived experiences, observing friends and family, working with clients in therapy, and utilizing the most up-to-date research available. So be sure to take what I say with a grain of salt and come to your own conclusions, because ultimately you are the expert in your life. Furthermore, this video should not be used in place of seeking professional therapy if there is a need. I am sorry. These three simple words, but when put together with conviction and integrity, carries a tremendous amount of emotional power. Those three words have the power to uplift, validate, and make someone feel seen and heard. But if left unsaid or not said in a timely fashion, or without truly meaning it, has the power to devalue, marginalize, traumatize, and fracture relationships, sometimes permanently. Now, my clinical work as a therapist, I see it often amongst couples and families and in simple day-to-day interactions with others. And sadly, what I've found is that not many of us have the ability to utter those simple words. And so as I began to conceptualize this video, I asked myself, why is it so difficult for people to say I'm sorry? What is it about those three words that give us pause? I have watched and worked with couples where the simple ability to honestly say without pretense, I'm sorry, would fix issues in the relationship, but somehow there's a roadblock from saying those words. So as I pondered this question, the answer that kept coming back to me was defined by power. Now, what does power have to do with the ability for one to be able to apologize to a partner, a family member, or a friend? It's actually rather simple, and it's due in part to something psychoanalysts refer to as ego defenses. So let me explain. Ego defenses are essentially unconscious or even conscious parts of our personality that we use as coping or protective mechanisms. Ego defenses can either be primary or secondary. When you think of primary ego defenses, a few examples could be denial, projection, devaluation, omnipotent control. On a secondary level, a few examples could be intellectualization, rationalization, compartmentalization, or displacement. So when we use ego defenses in situations that warrant us saying I'm sorry, I've come to believe that they're a way for us to hold on to our psychological power. Essentially, when we have wronged someone, and I've consciously made the decision that perhaps we should genuinely say I'm sorry, it can feel like we're putting ourselves in what could be considered a vulnerable position. In essence, we're accepting that if we say I'm sorry, we're giving the individual the power to either reject or accept the apology. And for many of us, putting ourselves in what can feel like a vulnerable spot can be incredibly uncomfortable. That feeling of discomfort I've come to observe in several friends and clients in therapy, and it can trigger one of several ego defenses, which in turn prevents the ability to say I'm sorry. So our inability to say I'm sorry, in my humble opinion, is about a power dynamic that can make us feel vulnerable and weak. But in reality, there's nothing weak about an individual that is comfortable with their vulnerability. Comfortable enough to recognize that genuinely apologizing is not about giving up your power. Rather, it's about recognizing that you do not have control over the outcome of others. The only thing you can control is how you react to them. But with all that said, I want to talk briefly about how to sincerely say I'm sorry, because I found that not many of us are good at it, and because you apologize, it doesn't mean somebody will accept it. But there are two things I believe one can do to make their apology feel sincere to the other person and improve the chances of it being accepted. So let's get into them. When someone feels they have been wronged by you, listen to them. Try your best to completely hear what they have to say before interrupting. This is easier said than done, of course, and in many ways it's aspirational. But when people feel you're making a good effort to listen to them, they're more prone to hear your response. Now, after you've listened to that person, repeat what you've heard to make sure you've fully comprehended what they have said. If you need time to then process what they've said, tell them. And if you don't need the time, that is okay as well. The main thing here is that you've understood their hurt. In essence, you are able to effectively mentalize by walking in solidarity with them. Then you'll be ready to say, I'm sorry. And this leads me into number 2. In my clinical practice and personal life, I've seen many individuals genuinely say, I'm sorry. The only problem was that there were incongruences between the tone and cadence of their voices and their body language or nonverbal cues, which made their words come off disingenuous. So it's really important when saying the words, I'm sorry, to use an appropriate tone and cadence, which is different for everyone, of course. And be mindful of your body language and nonverbal cues. You'd be surprised how many times someone is saying I'm sorry while looking at everything else but the person they are apologizing to. So I hope you found this information useful and insightful. And remember, it takes an incredible amount of mental fortitude to genuinely say the words I am sorry. There is absolutely nothing weak about it. And it will help you to preserve relationships that are important to you. As always, family, stay well. But hey, before you go, don't forget to click the subscribe button, which is my face right there. If you also want to check out some of my other videos, feel free to click any of these 2 boxes. Stay well, family.